That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
They're hot right now.
You're wearing their color, bro.
Trending
Hey, I support y'all. I didn't
one of
plan
their
this.
colors. Because what color is
Team
a hornet? Teal and purple.
Te- Team Lamelo over here. Team MJ. Uh, I just they have. I guess I would say arguably the second best option in the draft. I'm trying to
Are
hype
you?
this up. Well, it's because like I don't know if they're gonna keep it, they're gonna trade it, who they're picking. Like
Well, I
this is
don't
a
think that it's
franchise.
wise to draft Scoot. I think a lot of people would think that, right?
I've heard some pushback on that they think LaMelo could kind of play any position in a way because he can be unselfish. Though you take the best player available with Scoot, but I think they take Brandon Miller though.
But do you think Brandon Miller is good enough to make you better? Meaning, like, if I can trade two to Houston and get both of their picks, or Orlando and get both of their picks, are you willing to forego on Brandon Miller and what you think he might be for more assets right now?
I think they keep the pick. Where they are as a franchise, you have one star who can put people in the seats, which is good. But like you're not filling more seats with the 6th and the 11th pick. You're filling more seats with Brandon Miller or Scoot Henderson. That builds more excitement.
That's a good point.
Because you're not
That's a
winning the
good.
title in the next 5 years, probably. So you want to put together competitive, competent roster, kind of like the Thunder or one of these young teams that you can point to and be like, oh, we got something we're building with. And I think a Miller ball or even a Scoot ball combo would be exciting.
It's gonna sound ridiculous, but I think I'd much rather see a scooting ball because that's a little bit different.
Yeah, I like a ball Scoot.
Yeah, and then plus it's like that's kind of the trend in the NBA now to have a 1-2 guard combination.
Yeah,
So
everyone gave Cleveland shit for when they got Garland when they had Sexton, and that worked out fine. At least
yeah,
Garland.
and then they still even upgraded that with Donovan. But I mean, it's like you got like Giddy and Shea. You had Luca and Kyrie, Ja and Bane. Like, if you have the chance, because I think that no matter if Scoot goes to that team, Scoot's the 2 guard. Melo has to be the point, in my opinion. He has better court vision and he's a better passer.
Yep.
And then 2, it's going to give me the favorable matchup with LaMelo guarding the ball, guarding the other point. So I still think Melo's my 1, Scoot's my 2.
It'd make an exciting team that can get out there and run. The biggest question for the team, because the reason you wouldn't take Brandon Miller is if you think you're going to re-sign. After he serves his suspension, that is, if you're going to re-sign Bridges.
I think he's coming back, but that's my power forward. You got Mark Williams at the 5. So I would be trying to draft Scoot and then dump some contracts.
Like Rozier.
Hayward, Rozier, Oubre. Like, let's get some fresh guys in here. In my opinion.
Yeah, they have some guys other teams would look at. They don't have any like really enticing trade pieces. They have the other Martin twin. They're definitely not one player away. We'll say that.
No, but they have no roster construction. That's my point. Is like I think that you have to start getting people in there and know what they're going to do for you.
Would you? I know it's a second pick, so it's kind of hard to sell whenever you can get the second best player. But say like an Orlando or somebody that has 2 picks. They were like, "Hey, we're gonna give you some players and our 2 picks. Would you do it to get more, I guess, leverage?"
I thought yes, until James just said that. Like,
Yeah,
you're not going to put butts in the
Make your
seat.
case. Yeah, make your case for doing it.
Well,
Like,
because it depends on the team. So you're saying Orlando?
Yeah, like I was thinking, like Orlando has like I think they want to get in top 5. I think they have like what the 6.
Mhm.
and then they have another one. I think it's like 12, or it's like no 12
I think
is
Yeah.
6 or 11.
yeah 6
Yeah,
and
something
11,
like
something
that.
right there. Yeah.
6 and 11. I think my case would be that if say for instance, like it's a common assumption that Brandon Miller's the pick. It's like there's a strong possibility I can get Cam Whitmore at 6, or
Maybe one of
somebody
the
like
Thompson twins.
one of the
Maybe
times,
Victor's teammates. The one Victor teammate who's rising.
and you're still going to be able to pick a player at 11 like Anthony. Well, see, you don't need another point, but I could get a Jordan Hawkins from UConn, a shooter, or somebody like that at 11. You know,
It's a deep draft, and if we've seen in years past, Booker, Mitchell, SGA have all gone in that like 8 to 15 range. So,
and then plus, like I think like there's names you hear that are gonna fall. Like Jarris Walker, I think you'll get him at 11 if you really wanted him.
yeah, it just really depends how much you like Miller or Scoot. And if you don't think they're that much better than the two guys you could get in that hypothetical, I just don't know if I don't know it. I'd be more. I could see Orlando trading like 6 and then a future pick more than both of their first, but you never know because teams. It's just rare.
So what if you're Charlotte and you're like, okay, if you want to do a future pick, then I need a player in this trade and I need you to take a contract back with you. Meaning
you
like
on them?
Yeah, so you can dump a Gordon Hayward on Orlando or Kelly Oubre or Rozier or somebody, you know. But like in return, Charlotte should be trying to like, can I get one of the Wagner brothers? Can I get Jalen Suggs or somebody? You know,
Even like Markelle Fultz would be interesting.
it would be because he could go play the 1 or the 2 and come off the bench.
Yeah.
So I think Orlando's the team that's in play to trade for that second pick because could you imagine the hype Orlando would have if they had Scoot Henderson and Paolo Banchero on one team?
Nasty. And then it helps Charlotte bolster that bench, bolster their roster. You still get quality players.
I still think that Charlotte has players on their bench that they don't use that could get them a late first round pick. Like Kai Jones might get you a first round pick in the 20s. I think from just depending on like Houston has what 26 or something shit. I would make that trade because I like Kai Jones.
Yeah, they have 20 and of course the 4th.
This just has been a team that hasn't. I mean, the best Charlotte Hornets team of all time, I guess, since they're relatively new, at least that name. Well, I mean, I guess in the last, let's just say this century, like this iteration of the Hornets, it's probably, I mean, there's definitely those Kemba teams, but even that was never like a serious contender. They were never even a serious Eastern contender. So, like, their peak was a frisky, fun 4 or 5 seed, maybe, was their ceiling. And now they bottomed out, got Ball, who was pretty good, who has shown really good flashes and was a pretty good pick considering Wiseman was right behind him. But
I can tell you why I think that happened. Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, I was just going to say, I would love to hear what Hornets fans would have to say, who they want, because they've been in this weird purgatory for the last 10, 15 years. And do you take one lottery ticket on the number 2 pick and hope it hits, or do you take 2 chances at 6 or 11 or another trade package where you get 2 chances at it? And it's a little more risky because it's a little bit lower level, but you might hit a home run or 2 home runs, or you might pull a Timberwolves and get Rubio and Johnny Flynn. You never know.
Yeah, you don't ever know, but I tell Caleb this all the time. We play to win, not to lose. So I'm going to hope that my due diligence makes these picks worth it. And this is my personal opinion. Hornets fans, do not kill me in the comments. It seems like Michael Jordan does his very best to screw the team by taking shortcuts. Like, they'll suck bad enough to get a good player in the draft, Kemba, LaMelo, those kind of guys, right? And then he spends all the money he can to surround him with people. And then he gets locked into these bullshit contracts like Nicholas Batum. Like, he set that team back forever doing that, you know? And then Rozier, you shouldn't have re-signed him to that. Hayward, you shouldn't have gave him that money. So, like, if I'm Charlotte, I would be thinking, let's take a different approach. Let's get as much young talent as we can in here and try to build the OKC way. How Golden State did it, how Sacramento did it. You know, like, let's take a different route and try to put some guys together to build instead of just trying to throw money for people to fill duties around a star that you don't know you have.
Why do you think he still even owns it? I saw that he was waiting to see if they won the lottery because there have been rumors he might sell his share.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think it's just the status that he got in? I mean, he got in when it was still relatively affordable for a billionaire to get in before team prices skyrocketed. So, but like money doesn't matter. Like,
it has to be what Charles Barkley's been saying all along: is he just don't have the people around him telling him he's messing up.
Too busy being fans.
Yes.
I know they have the 27th pick also, but from what I'm looking at of Charlotte fans, majority of them want Scoot.
Mm-hmm.
They're reading into, of course, writers, podcasters, insiders, all saying that the Hornets are leaning towards Brandon Miller. So it seems like from the fan base side of it, they want a player with that pick. They really want Scoot because they feel that he will be one of the best or the best player out of this draft.
It's very much like Victor Wembanyama going to San Antonio is such a certainty. The draft starts right here at number 2.
Yeah, it really is the first real decision of the draft. And Brandon Miller has a little of that incident he was involved in too. So I don't know if you're Charlotte and you already have Bridges on your team. Do you want another guy with a?
I was thinking that too, but I read quite a few articles where there was a lot of people who were really impressed with Brandon Miller as a person.
Yeah,
so I don't think
know.
that incident might be. I don't think that incident's going to be as much of a big deal as people think. But also, it's like he makes me nervous. It's like, how good do you think Brandon Miller's going to be?
Well, a lot of people said he looked out of shape a bit, and
Stromile Swift. Live.
Gosh, that hurts. I mean, I can see it though. I remember Stromile with the damn headband on.
Vancouver.
He played for us too.
I know. That's where I remember him at.
I mean, that's the thing about Bus. Like, they might have all the intangibles and kill the. And remember Derek Williams?
Oh.
Like, did everything right. Everyone's saying he was a freakish athlete. He was gonna kill it. Nope.
I got a name out there. I got a name for you. I don't know why I thought of this the other day, and I was like, man, I legitimately thought this guy was gonna be a star. Do you remember Scal LaBCA when he played at Kentucky?
Yep.
I was like, I think this dude is going to be a fucking mega star. That motherfucker let me down.
He's not getting minutes because it's such a talented team, but once he gets his shot, watch out.
Womp, womp, womp.
Yep.
I honestly thought the same about Thon Maker. I was like, just give him a few years, put some muscle on. This kid works, he hustles, but nope.
What constitutes a bust? Does injury play a factor?
I think it's the expectations you have. Like, Thon Maker was the 10th pick in the draft, so, like, that's more forgivable to take a shot at that. But, like, Derek Williams, I think, was 2 or 3. And then, of course, Stromile was top 5 as well. I think
some people pick these guys, and, like, a lot of people are like, that guy's going to suck. And when they turn out to be busts, I find that hilarious. But then I also find it disrespectful to the player, but it's also funny because it's like, it's your dumbass fault, team, for thinking Kevin Knox should go like 7th or whatever he went.
Well, a lot of it is situation. I mean, there's a reason some of these teams are picking first. Like, the Spurs is a franchise you'd want to go to there, but, like, sorry, Charlotte, but, like, you don't want to go to Charlotte. You don't want to go to some of these franchises, like Minnesota, even for a while, arguably still. You just don't. So some of it's just the wrong place. Like, even Wiggins was never considered a bust, but he never lived up to his expectations in Minnesota. And now at Golden State, he's become a solid player. And a lot of people say Anthony Bennett's one of the biggest busts, but, like, that draft was such a crapshoot. that no one knew who was going one. Yes, he was a bust. I'm not saying he wasn't, but
I don't think that Miller could be a bust in Charlotte. I think his play style would fit with what LaMelo would do. Like they would kind of mesh together.
You would get 20 a game pretty quick.
But I think you could get 20 a game, but our question is like, it goes back to like, is that 20 a game worth passing up on finding out what I could get with those 2 Orlando picks?
Yeah. Is it like a Cam Thomas 20 a game where it's like a little bit empty numbers too?
Yes. I don't know. I hate to be them. They kind of control the draft though.
They do. I think they keep it. And
It depends, man, because don't be surprised if I'm telling you, I think or if Orlando wants Scoot bad enough, they can offer something that it might be really hard for Charlotte to pass up on.
I could see Jordan doing a stupid shit where Jordan loves college guys who played well in college. I feel like Michael Jordan just watches the NCAA tourney and bases his running a franchise on that. And Scoot, G-Leaguer. So that's why I'd be kind of surprised if they took Scoot. I think they get Brandon Miller to trade it, but if I had to say, they're going to get Brandon Miller.
Let me ask you this. Is it completely out of the question, say that Charlotte doesn't want Scoot because they don't feel they need a point guard, right? And they're going to go Brandon Miller. Is it within the realm of possibility to think that Cam Whitmore could be going at number 2? Because if you told me to choose right now between Whitmore and Miller, I might take Whitmore.
No.
I think there's a toughness to the way he plays to me.
I like Whitmore, but I feel like that will just lead you to get scrutinized. If you thought that, I would just trade back, even though that doesn't really happen in the NBA. Like teams don't trade back a couple spots like in the NFL, but that's what I would do.
All right, so who's y'all's picks?
Scoot.
Brandon Miller.
So
is there another Zeller coming through?
Nope.
Kyle.
They'll find them a white center from somewhere.
jeez.
Kyle Zeller.
They got 2 paint swabs, a black one and a white one. It's like we need a white center or somebody that looks like Bismack Biyombo. What y'all got?
Gosh. All right, so Charlie, it looks like Brandon Miller, Scoot. Let us know in the comments who you want.
He's at Lowe's.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, y'all got a center that looks like this? Either one?
They're gonna be in the comments like the truth hurts.
Oh,
man, if y'all made it to this point, Charlotte fans, like, subscribe, does a ton for us. We'll more than likely be doing another video on your team at some point. Who knows, man?
2 years from now.
Yeah, we try to touch on the teams that nobody else talks about over here. So good luck, guys. Good luck in the draft. We are out of here.
How much I'm working for this? I swear my dreams are too important.